Today, I'm going to give you the step-by-step blueprint for getting exactly what you want in life. This is how I met my wife. This is how I bought my dream business. And it is so foolproof that you're going to be able to get exactly what you want. Hi, my name is Craig Ballantyne. I'm the host of Early to Rise Radio and the author of 3 books, including The Perfect Week Formula and the Wall Street Journal bestselling book, Unstoppable. Now, 20 years ago, I was a struggling, broke, introverted, socially anxious, binge drinking personal trainer who didn't want to be any of those things. And so I hired my first coach. His name was Tom. And the very first question on the very first call of our coaching, Tom said to me, Craig, what do you want your business to look like in 5 years from now? At the time, I was running a business called Turbulence Training. I was making over 6 figures online. I had just quit being a full-time personal trainer. I was living my best life. And I said to Tom, I'm not happy with where I am right now. And what I want to really do with my life is get out of the fitness industry and have a business like earlytorise.com. Now, earlytorise.com in 2006 was one of the first personal development, wealth building, and health newsletters. Everybody knew earlytorise.com. And so Tom said to me, well, listen, Craig, you're kind of smart, but you have to become a better speaker, a better writer, a better networker. You have to become a better entrepreneur, you have to become a CEO in order to have a business like that. Now, that's all we talked about for Early to Rise on that call. The rest of it was talking about my turbulence training launch. But Tom's advice was the blueprint that I needed to go and do those things. And over the next several years, what I did was I joined mastermind groups. I improved my copywriting. I got out of my introverted shell and became a better speaker. I stood on stage even though I was uncomfortable up there, and I learned how to go from being a boring robot to actually having engaging presentations. And throughout those years and those travels and those seminars, I met a guy named Matt Smith. And in 2010, Matt and I had just gone on a trip with Tim Ferriss where we were out in the desert in Arizona shooting guns and driving cars all at the same time. And on the way home, Matt said to me, Craig, what do you want your business to look like? And again, I said to him, I want to have something like Early to Rise. So he and I started a business called Internet Independence. It was a newsletter that helped people grow their businesses online. And then a few months went by, and then Matt sent me a text message and he said, Craig, are you still interested in Early to Rise? And I was like, yeah, of course. And he said, I'm at a seminar with Mark Ford, the owner of Early to Rise, and he's ready to sell. And so we flew down to Florida immediately, negotiated the deal, and 5 years, 3 months, and 17 days after my first coach, Tom, asked me, what do I want my business to look like in 5 years? I bought the exact business. Now, it's 3 months and 17 days late, so don't give me a hard time because I bought the exact business, not a business like Early to Rise. And that was my first experience with creating a vision to get exactly what I wanted. Later on, when I wrote The Perfect Day Formula, it was actually a personal ad. You might not know this, but the funny story is The Perfect Day Formula is a personal ad. Chapter 21 is my vision for my life. And I write about the woman that I want to meet and the family that I want to have. And I wrote about it in such specific detail. And I sold 50,000 copies in the first couple of years that I had the accountability to hold me to my goals. People would come to me at seminars and they say, Craig, how's it going? Trying to find your wife. And that held me accountable. Even when I wanted to take the path of least resistance, I was like, I wrote about it. I shared it with the world. People are holding me accountable. So I went out and took action. And sure enough, by the time of the deadline in the book, I had met my future wife. I was a little late on having kids, but I got exactly what I wanted. Because I created the vision. I built the blueprint to success, and I had accountability for me to get there. So if you don't want to be a garden variety average person who watches 4 hours of TV per day and drinks beer on the weekend and watches sports and hides from his family in his man cave, then this video is for you because it is going to show you how to get exactly what you want. Now, the first step in getting exactly what you want is knowing exactly what you want. And surprisingly, that's where so many people struggle because in this great world, there's so many things that we desire. We want to go to Vegas. We want to go to Europe. We want to, play sports and play golf, and we want to go on these vacations, and we want to do this, that, and the other thing, but we can't do everything. There's a great quote, and I don't know who exactly said it first, but they said, you can do anything, but you can't do everything because you can achieve greatness. But you can't achieve greatness in 5 things. Even Michael Jordan was only able to be a great player of one sport. He failed at baseball because he can't be great at everything. And so the question to you is, do you know exactly what you want? Now, how do you figure that out? Well, I've got a little process for it. Now, imagine an upside down triangle. Everybody loves a good upside down triangle, upside down pyramid. Everybody loves a little pyramid scheme, right? But this is legit. And so if you think of an upside down triangle, that's what we're going to go through in this presentation. We're going to start off with your values and vision, and we're going to work our way down from the big picture until we know exactly what to do after you watch this video that's going to move you ahead to achieving your goals. So the first thing I ask people when I see them is, I want you to tell me, what values are you going to still have in 10 years from now that you have today? So what are your most important values for your family, your health, your wealth, and your personal enrichment? Personal enrichment is like charity work. So for me, I will always be able to say that, I want to be married happily to Michelle. We want to have 3 kids, and we want freedom for our family. That's our family values. Then for my wealth is, I want to be independently wealthy with a passive income of over $50,000 per month. And I know that for my health, I want to feel like I'm 18 forever running around with my kids. And for my personal enrichment is, I want to write 20 books because I want to give my information back to the world. So knowing my values and then creating my vision, it will then drive every daily decision. For example, with my health, if I want to feel young and healthy, then I'm going to eat well, I'm going to exercise, I'm going to do rehab exercises, I'm going to sleep well, I'm not going to drink, I'm not going to get overweight, I'm not going to eat junk food, I'm not going to do things that cause inflammation in my body, right? My vision and my values of being that healthy person dictate what I'm going to have for breakfast. So knowing way out what I want, my North Star gives me a straight line to success. That's what you will be able to start to identify when you tell me what your values are for the next 10 years for your health, your wealth, your family, and your personal enrichment. Next, we go to your vision. So this is the movie script for your life. I want you to write down that where you're going to be in 3 to 5 years. Pick an exact date. Maybe it's Thanksgiving, maybe it's Christmas, maybe it's your birthday, your wife's birthday, Father's Day. Pick an exact date 3 to 5 years in the future. Tell me exactly where you are. Tell me exactly who you're with. Tell me exactly what you're celebrating. What are 3 big accomplishments that you've had in your life? Preferably 2 professional and 1 personal. Maybe you've moved into your dream home in Denver, Colorado, and you're there with your 2 kids and your wife's parents and all your brothers and sisters, and you're celebrating the purchase of this new house, and you're celebrating having hit $5 million in revenue in your business, and you were able to bring on a COO so that you work only 35 hours per week, and you were able to get your body fat down to 12%. Like, is that not a movie script? You could see everything, even if you never want to live in Denver, and I lived in Denver, and I don't want to live in Denver again, but you could picture a house in Denver. You could picture those people. You could picture those results. You could even picture the COO. And that's the movie script that I want to hear from you. So when I have that and I see exactly what your North Star is, it's easy for me to build the blueprint to help you get exactly what you want. And that's our next step. If that's where we want to be in 3 to 5 years, well, where do we need to be in the next 12 months? So tell me, exactly 1 year from today, where will you be, who will you be with, and what 3 accomplishments in your business will we have hit in the next 12 months? So, maybe you'll have gone from 1.5 million to 2.25 million. Maybe you will have hired an assistant manager, or assistant operations manager, or director of operations, or simply an executive assistant that will take some of the workload off from you. These are the steps that are going to give us to that 5-year vision. So write out your 1-year blueprint. Here are the things that are your definition of success for the next 12 months. Then we go to the next level, right? We're narrowing it down and we build a 90-day blueprint. The 90-day blueprint, what's your outcome goal? What are the 3 process goals underneath? What are the action steps that you can take in the next 24 hours to give you momentum and motivation and move you ahead in life? Because we want to get that dopamine hit, right? When you go to your phone, you get a dopamine hit, you get addicted to it. Well, it's the same when you take action in your business. You take action, you get a quick victory, gives you a dopamine hit, which gives you the momentum and motivation to come back tomorrow and do more work on it. And so if you know exactly what you can do right now to move you ahead, such as, I'm going to go and I'm going to tell my team that I'm going to hire an executive assistant in the next 90 days. You can tell everybody right now, and that moves you ahead. It makes you committed to it. Now you've got accountability from everybody. Great. And then what can you do in the next 24 hours? So you can write the job ad and you can post it. And in 48 hours, you can go to your network and you can ask people like, hey, do you know anybody who's really organized who's looking for an executive assistant job? And then you can go in 72 hours and sit down with your sales and marketing team and build a blueprint to grow your business by over $1 million in the next year. And you have these benchmarks, 7 days, 14 days, 21 days, 28 days, 30 days. What are you going to do to give you fast start on that 90-day blueprint? So it goes from 10-year values, 5-year vision, 1-year blueprint, 90-day plan, 24-hour quick victory, all the way up to 28 days. You have that plan and you have the treasure map to achieve exactly what you want. I have done this with hundreds of entrepreneurs. And the cool thing is we do this in a day-long seminar, and they take this binder home with all this information. And then, like most people do, they put it on the shelf. And 6 months, 12 months, sometimes 2 years go by. And then they like, oh, there's that workshop binder from Day with Craig. And they open it up and they're blown away. They look at it and they go, oh my gosh, this was a 12-year plan or a 12-month plan, and I achieved that goal in 8 months. This was my 5-year vision and I did it in a year and a half. They're absolutely blown away by what they can accomplish or what they have accomplished in such a short amount of time because they had the exact steps. The reason why you haven't accomplished everything that you wanted and exactly what you wanted is because you have the information up in your head, but it's all cluttered up like a jigsaw puzzle box, right? You know, when you open one of those things, it's all cluttered up. You have to spread it out over the table. You have to put it together. That's success, not leaving it jumbled up in here. So that day with me, going through these exercises, gets the jumbled up mess out of your head, spreads it out, and now you're starting to get clarity. And you put it together piece by piece, day by day. And the next thing you know, you have exactly what you wanted by opening that box. And so the big lesson is don't store everything in your head, because one, you don't know what you want. You don't know how to get there. And if you don't know what you want and you don't know how to get there, then you aren't going to be able to communicate it to other people, which means you won't be able to get your team on board with it, and you won't be able to get an accountability partner on board to hold you accountable to getting what you want, because they don't know what you want. So 20 years ago, a man asked me a powerful question. What do you want your business to look like in 5 years? And that opened up this can of worms that has helped me live my dream life, find the love of my life, have an amazing family, grow multiple 7-figure businesses, work with friends and help 250 plus people become millionaires, all because he got my vision out of my head. And if I can help you get even part of your vision out of your head so it gives you greater clarity, it'll give you greater success. And that is worth all the work that I've ever done in the world. So if you need more help on this, if you want to dive deeper on it, go to my first book, Perfect Day Formula. Read chapter 21, my personal ad that attracted my wife into my life. And you can get that book for free at craigballantyne.com/free books. Then you go through that, then read Unstoppable, and then read Perfect Week Formula. Unstoppable will help you create even more of a vision. It'll help you remove stress from your life, and Perfect Week Formula will help you make time to achieve it all. So craigballantyne.com/free books. Those will give you more of the roadmap to get exactly what you want in life.